Hi friends, this is Vema Reddy. So today we are going to see one simple use case of transformation, how we can do in Boomi. Let me share my screen. So in one of the community, I do see a question has been posted like how we can do the transformation, like if it is input is like some comma separated and one of the column have a values which have like multiple tokens. Uh, and how we can generate that in JSON. So you can see that it's a straightforward, the two columns, and but this third column is kind of CS delimited values, and that delimited values you want to generate as a separate array items in JSON. So it's not like not pretty straightforward in Boomi where you can do a transformation from simple flat file to a JSON, because if you put a simple flat file to JSON, this everything is comes as this one like this. We don't mean like all everything as a double quotes. You'll feel yeah, all the values like it is everything comes as in within double quotes in the address field inside the array. So that's for example here you can see that this is how you will get it, but this is not the expected one. Like in JSON terminology, the this represents like one item only. So if you want to represent as a multiple items, this is how it should be represented as. So for that, there are multiple ways we can do when it comes to my mind. Like first way, you can use a simple Groovy script or Java code that you can write to do the transformation. uh, there could be other ways also, but I think there is also, if it is a flat file to an XML transformation, you can pretty straightforward do with XSLT also. But the whenever things you do, like whatever the approach we for, but we will be pseudo logic would be the same one. We just take this one and tokenize it with some delimiter, and then generate the multiple loop through each of them, and then generate each item and then attach it to the main document. That's the high level things. Here also we were doing the same thing. I just already created this sample process. I'll just quickly walk you through like how what I'm doing. So I just put the sample document over here with two records. I'm just splitting each record here based on the line number, based on the for each line. And this is for additional one, like you can ignore it for. So I just do the simple transformation here, like, XML to sorry, flat file to JSON, because I intentionally removed this one. The reason because this is how the output will be generated over here. So this is not an expected one. So what I did is I just only took these two values here, and I used some scripting, and then I did a transformation. But let me tell you like what is the key things prerequisites to make these transformations to work, the custom scripting one. So, but this is always right. Whenever you go any type of custom coding, right, it's always better to use the native tools and execute that script, the internet script, and then once if it's working fine, and then you can translate that into Boomi format. So essentially here, like, I'm using the STS, Spring Tool Suite. So here I have used POM project, if you are aware from the Java background. Like, so what I the before like putting the script directly into the Boomi, I'm just keeping my Java code working, trying to see whether it's working on here, or if you are really using any Groovy script, you can also use other Groovy editor tools and you can try to write your code. But eventually, I'm going to use this is a jar file that I'm going to use Org.json. So this is one of the JSON that comes with the JDK, and you can do the JSON manipulation. So you can read, you can parse, you can write, and whatever you want, you can do this one. So the other way widely used open source ones is Google JSON also will be there. Like if you go to Maven, there is one more library. There is other things also, but this is also one more library where you can use these transformations. But I think I believe, as per my knowledge, like for this Google JSON, you need to load an external dependency into Boomi Atom environment. I think for this one, like org.json, you don't need to add any additional dependency because it's already part of Boomi libraries that was installed as part of the NATA. So that's the reason I just selected this one. So I just added this dependency so that this jar file will be automatically downloaded from the Maven. So it's automatically downloaded. because I use Maven based project. So I just quickly show you like how it runs in the script works in here, and then it will it translate that into Boomi. So first I'll quickly show you this output, and I just ran the project. So you can see that I'm able to generate the multiple array items of the address. So what I typically did here is, I'll just quickly do that. Once I just hard coded the sample JSON that I was going to generate it here like this. This is the sample JSON. I just sent it here. But anyway, like for the sake of this custom scripting, like I did not taken the value from here, because in the Boomi, once I implement this transformation in Boomi, like I'll be taking through a DDP. So that's why I took this as a property. And then I just created, because this is an square bracket, right? This is an array. So that's why I just pass this input, and I created an array in case if you are not familiar with Org.json, how you can handle these transformations. There is a video on my YouTube channel. You can just see how we can use this Org.json. So this is a pretty straightforward methods. Like JSON array represents is a JSON array element, which is an array typically represents with a square bracket. So I'm just passing this entire string in string representation of this array, JSON array, and I'm just creating an object of JSON array. So from this JSON array, what I'm doing, I'm just getting, getting this particular index. This is the first index I'm getting based on this get 0. So this index is basically again a JSON document. I'm just capturing that into JSON document. So after that, I'm just going to remove all these things from that root JSON array document, because I'm going to manipulate and then I'm going to attach it here. So that's the reason I'm just clearing that one. After clearing, what I'm doing, I just written a small function. What this function is do, it just takes your input JSON document. Okay, it takes a JSON document. When I say JSON document, this is the one it's selected. It takes this document, okay, and it creates a new address element. It creates new address element with a list of array items. So once it's done, this is how it looks like to me. So how we are doing this one is, so I created a custom function here. So user defined function here, like this function basically takes a JSON document in which the address element, array element to be appended. And this is the comma separated values. That's the values will be put it into an array elements. And what is a delimiter here? And what is the element name that you want to add it here. This is the element name I want to add it. Element name JSON terminology, we call it as key. So this is what I'm going to do this one. Sorry. So here you can see like this object will gives me a JSON object. So that JSON object, I'm putting it back to an array here. That array, I'm rendering it here. So you can see this was passed as this A, B, C. And this was generated as this. What this function is doing is it takes this object, okay, it takes this object, and it takes the delimited string also, and delimiter also, and what the new key that's supposed to generate. So from this you can see I split based on the delimiter that I pass, so that I'll get an array. This array I'm translating that into a list. Eventually it's collection in Java terminology. So with that collection, I'm creating a Java JSON array. In that array, I'm just adding a new element that's called array key name, is what I'm going to pass it as address in this case when I'm calling this function method. So with this name, the list of array items, I'm just adding it here, that I'm going to return it back as a root JSON document. This JSON document will be resulted here, and that JSON document is going to add it as an array item to the original array. So this is the original array, and it just added this one. So we just run it. This is the one. So same thing I just translated into Boomi. So what I did is I copied this user-defined function. If you see, this is a Boomi script was. So I copied that user-defined function. This function basically, this method takes a JSON object, and this also it takes a comma separated list CSV string, and what's the delimiter it was being separated, and what's the new key you want to create. So this I'm going to call it over here. So this is the same thing. Like, so once this is a standard Boomi script that gets generated when you select the custom scripting from that. So all our data will be like into the input stream. So from that input stream in the Groovy, there is a direct function that can translate your JSON input stream into a string. With that string, I just created a JSON array. From that JSON array, I took the first item, that's a JSON document. From that JSON document, I removed the document from that array. So, but anyway, this is won't be impacted because this another object that has already grabbed the first item. So with this one, I just called uh, the below defined from method, and this method I pass the arguments. This is the address where the CSV string that I'm capturing from the input value into a dynamic document property. So I hope you are already aware of the difference between the dynamic document and the process properties. If you are not, you can just go through the video available in my one of the YouTube channel. So you can see like I'm passing here like this address has a comma separate values. I wanted to rename it as in under into a new column called that address. So I'm just passing all these values and I'm just adding it back. Once this method gets executed, this will return to the JSON document, and this will be going to this document into an array. That array converted into a string representation, and then I convert as an input stream. The reason because data process only takes input stream, so that this output will be resulted as an out document from the data process. So this is what I have added the script. So the only thing what it requires the script is it just need to capture the address information with the list of comma separated values into dynamic document property. So that I'm going to do for if I just quickly run this process. So it will, time being, I've just unplugged, unmapped the address field. So we'll not get any address field. So only we'll get the first name and last name fields here. So after that, I connect this data process. That data process have the custom scripting setup is copied. So this is the simplest way I thought I can show you. You can see two documents because it was splitted, and each document generates this one. Second document is here, and then you just let's reconnect this. What I'm doing this reconnection was I'm just going to apply the custom scripting. That custom scripting take the document and then add the array items from the dynamic document property, and then it just combining it into one document, so that it the output of the data process will be resulting it into only one document. There are other tools that have the direct transformation. You don't need to write for any custom scripting, like, but in some of the functionalities in Boomi doesn't have this straightforward transformation. That's where you might need to end up using the custom scripting. So you can see till this point, you receives two documents, and here also you receive two documents once you see the data processing. So we are doing the one is scripting step, other one is the document step. So if we just go and see the document, if you see output here, we'll see you can see these values. For sake of simplicity, I have done this. I have custom scripting was handled to take only one item inside the array, but we can still enhance this custom scripting to take instead of we do one split here, like from that JSON document itself, we can take and then re-update the value for the same address key also. But that is still can be enhanced. Okay, I think it would be helpful. If you have any questions or is any different thought can be implemented to achieve this solution, please post it into the comments. Thank you so much.